Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we are back. Plenty to talk about. Sorry we were off for a couple of weeks there. So let's get right into it. Checked out this week. I am currently watching Down Cemetery Road. This is the new series on Apple TV. One of two that we'll talk about today. This one is interesting. It's from the producers of Slow Horses, which I blazed through, much like Micah, which was excellent, by the way. The finale of season 5 was great.
Mm-hmm.
I think season 5 was probably the best season. 4 or 5, I think you could make an argument for both those being great. So Down Cemetery Road is a another British show. Basically, the premise is a house blows up in this neighborhood in Britain, and it's like, oh, it's a gas leak. Like, it happens. People get killed. It's unfortunate. But there is like a little girl who survives. And the problem is this woman who lives right near the house, she's like, oh, like I want to go take this kid flowers or what have you, right? Because like, oh my gosh, she lost her parents. And she goes to, take flowers, and they're like, you can't see the child. The child's dead, and get out of here, basically. And so it just kind of starts this whole sort of situation. She hires a private investigator to like try to figure out what the fuck is going on. Like, why can't you see the kid? Where's the kid? And all this other shit. And the private investigator ends up getting killed. And so the wife of the private investigator, who is also a private investigator, like takes up the case to try to like figure out who killed her husband and why. And then it just kind of drives down into this conspiracy. It's good. It's good. It's not Slow Horses good, but it's good. I feel like you would like this show, but it's interesting. So I do recommend it. Down Cemetery Road. The what's the one? Emma Thompson. It plays the kind of tough British private investigator, and she's great. She's really, really good. And then Ruth Wilson is the woman who's like kind of kicked off this conspiracy theory, like trying to figure out what's going on. So it's weird. It's got a little bit of that sort of same Slow Horses, like dry British wit to it. But yeah, I feel like if you like Slow Horses, you might be into this as well. Like, so it's I think it's only 3 or 4 episodes in, but it's pretty good so far. I'm digging it.
We're gonna start that tonight, but yeah. We started Pluribus, and we were like, you know what? Let's just kind of watch this other episode of this, and because we're really into it. So Pluribus is I guess a post-apocalyptic science fiction psychological thriller. It's a lot of qualifiers.
Yeah, no kidding.
But it's a new show from Vince Gilligan, the guy who did Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And, when I see that, I'm a little worried because like those shows, while they're very good, they take a while to kind of get going. And,
very true.
I don't mind a slow burn or whatever, but like, I do mind meandering, right?
Yeah. I think people forget how slow Breaking Bad started. Like people are like, oh yeah, right away. I'm like, no, the fuck it was not. It was like 3 or 4 episodes, and you're just like,
which means 3 or 4 hours.
Right. That's a long time. I remember
before something kicks off.
I remember, what was it? Demetrius was like, nah, Umbrella Academy is really good. You got to give it like the first 8 episodes. I'm like, 8 hours of TV before it gets good? Like, I'm out. I'm out.
That episode, that first season was 8 episodes, and you got to get through the first 7 to appreciate the series. And Umbrella Academy, and I'm just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I ain't got to take time.
Yeah, Breaking Bad, and look, I never got into Better Call Saul because of quite literally what we're talking about. It was like, I'm like 3 or 4 episodes in, I'm like, what are we doing? I'm just like, it's a TV with like people talking in the background. What is happening in this show? And then I'm sure it kicks off, and that's why I'm going to give it another chance, And it's not that I don't think it's going to be good. I'm sure it's going to be great. It's just that 3 or 4 hours is a lot to get through before you get
We never finished Better Call Saul. We got
Oh, really?
through like the first 2 seasons, but that show has like 6 seasons or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like it takes a while, and we never got to see him become Saul. like it takes a while,
Yeah.
you know.
Like better hurry.
But but this show, I bring all that to say that this show is the opposite of that. This
Yeah.
show has a very intriguing premise, and it gets to it within that episode. If by the end of episode 1 you're not into you don't want to see what happens, the show is not for you. It's the premise is that it is set in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the series follows Carol Strucker, played by Rhea Seehorn from Better Call Saul, who is the only one of 13 people in the world immune to the effects of the joining resulting from an extraterrestrial virus that has transformed the world's population into a peaceful and content hive mind. I mean,
All in.
look, yeah, I'm all in. And the way that these things play out, right? Like some people don't survive the effects of the virus, and others do, and when they do, they become part of this hive mind. And then like the synopsis says, like the premise says, 13 people are just like aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's the show brings up some incredibly interesting scenarios, right? Because we eventually meet some of these other people who are aware of what's going on, and they run the gamut, right? Like some people are, you know, some people are in mourning, some people are taking advantage of these other people
So
who are.
let me stop you right there. I don't mean to be rude. Look, fast forward. Okay, we're going to talk spoilers of like what this series is. Okay, because like you talking around it, like I want to get into a real
I know it's
conversation.
hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah, I want to actually have a conversation about what is in these first 2 episodes. So look, fast forward. I'll put a timeline, or like I'll go back and I'll tell you. I'll put it up in the video or what have you, where you can fast forward it. All right, guys, this is Future Jay talking. Look, if you want to fast forward to 28 minutes and 24 seconds, that is when we are done having the spoiler conversation about Pluribus. If you have not watched it yet, we highly recommend that you watch it. But if you don't want to have any spoilers for the first 2 episodes, as we were talking about it, again, fast forward to 28 minutes and 24 seconds, and then we're finished that conversation.
So, look, the first episode is basically you get introduced to the fact that this alien virus exists and it affects people through saliva, right? Or, I guess the air, whatever, right? And it spreads incredibly fast, right? And our main character, she is a romance fiction novel author,
Right.
who kind of is a curmudgeon, right? Because like she's writing schlock, and and her wife is her business manager, and they obviously love each other, and all of a sudden this this virus takes hold, and her wife is one of the people that just doesn't make it.
Right.
And she's freaking out. And the thing with the hive mind is, we all know what a hive mind is. Everyone knows everything about everyone, right? Everybody knows everything about everybody. And
In real
because
time.
they are all in real time, right? And it's not like a fresh set of memories because they're all like this new race of hive joined people. No, they all have the memories of each and every individual affected by the virus, right? Just wild. So why they're the Borg,
Yeah.
right?
No fucking you. Okay, like hell no. Jesus Christ.
So they're all the others, which is what this article is calling them. The others set out to try and ease Carol's mind until they can figure out how to get her to join them, right? And she's just like, fuck off, right? Like, I don't want anything to do with you. I have my own mind. You said I have my own mind. Get out of here. But they're like incredibly helpful and they cater to your every whim, right? So Carol is like, all right, you said there are other people like this. I want to see the other people, right? So that's what episode 2 is. Episode 2, and that's when things get like the episode 1 is the premise. Episode 2 is like the point, right?
Yeah.
Like
Welcome to the fucking
this is where we get really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed episode 1, but yeah, episode 2, I was like, oh, okay. Like I got it. Like the way episode 1 is shot and handled is like, it feels like a zombie invasion type of movie, right? Like you're just kind of like, all right, like, except they're like very kind, right? Like they're not trying to kill you, but everyone is like, oh, can I help you with your groceries, right? And so there's like that layer of like eeriness, past the like initial, thing that happens. Episode 2, like you said, is like, what is the point of all of this? And you're like, if you thought like at the beginning of episode 2, like, oh, this wouldn't be so bad. They're like, but wait, there's more. And they just start listing down all of the things that I think a lot of people on the surface would not have thought about. And you go, I'm not okay with that, right? Like there are a couple of moments where you're like, you know what? Oh, rewind what I said 5 minutes ago. I deeply regret having that thought process. And that's what super works in the second episode. So I'm very much looking forward to episode 3 and this Friday and how they handle that. So yeah, I thought that was great so far.
Yeah, man. Like each of the 13 has like a handler, basically, and they meet up and they like we're getting deep in like we're talking about this episode, right?
Yeah, go for it.
So they meet up and they all have to fly to a certain location to meet up, right? And one guy is like, he comes in on Air Force One because he's like, I mean, why not? They said they could do it, so
I mean, look, at this point, I'm like, this guy's a fucking genius. Again, I deeply regret that. Literally 10 minutes later in the episode, I'm like, I do not align with him.
And the people there are like, some of them are. Carol is like, we got to figure out what to do because these people can't just walk around in our loved ones' bodies or whatever. Right. And some people have bought into the idea, like, well, they said everything is kind of cool. Like, I kind of want to be one of them, right? So I can be with my family, right? And one woman is like in denial because her child is affected. And
yeah, go ahead. That's a big part of it.
And Carol points out, like, yeah, but your child like has the memories of everyone you've ever slept with and your gynecologist. Your child, basically, your child knows what your nether regions look like, bro. Like, what are you like?
Yeah,
like that's
like,
not your.
You're a disgusting woman. It's like, but she's not wrong though.
Right.
Right.
I mean, she's a bit of a dick too, because she's like, hey, what would you do if he basically asks the child a really personal question about his mom, and like the child is fuck you doing, yo? Right. And that's not your child.
No,
but it is, but it's not. It's really not. And
yeah,
the second episode gets into a lot of moral dilemmas, right? Because these people, while they have their own thoughts now, are kind of, they have dominion over these people, so to speak, right? And one dude, the Air Force One dude, is like, hey, Carol, let me holler at you. Like, I want to go to Vegas, right? I've been to Vegas before. I want to go to Vegas, and I want to go with your handler. So, you think you could you know, let me borrow her for a minute because I want to fuck her. And it's just like, this is creepy, dude. Like, this is creepy because she's not going to say no, right?
She can't.
And she can't say, she
Literally-
physically can't say no.
Right. Because of the implication, right? Like, this is unacceptable, guys. Like, this is unacceptable behavior. Because like when you meet that guy, right? He's on Air Force One. He's got all these super hot women of all flavors. This guy's like living it up, right? He's got his fucking suit on. He's having a good time. And then he says that, and you're like, oh, you're raping them. That's arguably that's what you're doing. Like, they can't say no, and you're just like, make it happen. And it's like, I don't want to be in the room with you. Like, this is really awful. Yeah, like, it brings up serious moral questions. Serious moral questions.
You bring up the zombie analogy, and I think it's an apt one. I think this is a new take on a zombie outbreak, a very refreshing one, where it's like the opposite of zombies, right? But the whole point of zombie stories is not about the zombies. It's about what the people do in the midst of this situation.
Right.
And, like the old, the whole thing with The Walking Dead is that The Walking Dead doesn't refer to the zombies. It refers to the survivors. Right.
Yep.
And that's kind of what this is. Like, the drama is what moral dilemmas are we going to get into with these people who have their own thoughts and opinions and motivations? Imagine being in a zombie outbreak and like one dude wants to fuck as many zombies as he can. Like, it's kind of weird, bro. Like, it's kind of weird.
It is.
And
but what if it's your wife? That's still rape, though. It's still rape. God damn it!
Right.
Like,
and it's everyone else's wife. It's Carol's wife.
It's your dad. It's your dad. It's definitely your dad. Jesus Christ! Like, that's what's fucked up. Is you have like, okay, wild conversation incoming. Okay. Not that's the last statement wasn't, but it's fucking par for the course of the show. Okay, you're in the midst of this, and your spouse becomes one of the others, right? And you're like Carol, you're fucking cognizant of what's going on. I get not having sex with your spouse because you're like, that's fucking weird. How long you going? Right? Like, how long you going 40 years? You going 40, 50 years? Just living your life like that? Like, it's weird, man, because at a certain point, you're going to be like, it's still my dad.
At a certain point, you're going to forget. You're going to forget.
Yeah, you're not going to forget. You're not going to forget that your dad is
going to put it out of your mind.
No.
You're going to have to. No. You're going to have to. They're going to try to put it out of their mind, right? Like that guy, Air Force One guy. I forget his character's name. He's not thinking about, he's not thinking about that. And it just, I don't know. Look, this is an incredibly interesting premise.
Oh, it is.
And it's an incredibly good show. I recommend everybody watch it. It's, man. Yeah. Vince Gilligan doing it again.
Yeah. So here's the other thing about it, besides the sex part, which to me is a much larger issue than I think the show is probably going to make it out to be. It would be all I could think about in that world 100% of the time. Okay. Besides flying around in Air Force One, I'd be like, I don't want to do any of this. I feel disgusting. So there's the other aspect of this, which is, and I think it's actually the larger point of the show, which is, what are you willing to sacrifice for paradise? There's no war. There's no racism. There's no hatred. There's no bigotry. There's no, ageism or there's none of that. Everyone knows everyone's business. Because it's not just that they have the memories of everyone. Their whole thing, their zombie thing, instead of being like brains, is just like, do you need help? Kindness, right? Like, they're walking around peaceful. Like, they're vegetarians. They don't kill animals. Like, they have a whole thing about like the one dude who's definitely raping all of those women, is literally like, so will you cook an animal? Like if I kill it? And they're like, yes, we'll cook it for you. Like, so if I raise a cow or you raise the cow, I slaughter it and you'll cut it up and make food for me. And it's like, yeah. So like they won't kill the animal, but if you kill the animal, like that's A-okay with them. So like you, outside of like sleeping with your own parents, I cannot stress how terrible that fucking is. You literally, as one of these 13 people, get to do anything you want. They'll fly you around the world. They'll give you whatever you want, food-wise, anything. You have a handler that they could be your best friend. And they talk totally normal and all such. They're just super kind to you, right? What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice your individuality for paradise? And on the surface, it feels like people would be like, and much like the other people in the show who are cognizant of it, a lot of them are. They're just like, yeah, okay, this is great. Like some people are like, I want to be one of them because this lady wants to be with her mother and her aunt, who are others, and there are other ones who like are married and their wives and kids are others as well, and they're just like, yeah, no, this is great. So like, what's to complain about? And Carol is the only one who's like, basically, your individuality as a human being matters more than all of this. Like, I'm willing to have individuality and take all of the shitty human things that come with it: war, racism, bigotry, living in a hellscape potentially for some people. Like, she's willing to put other people back into those situations where you could have a utopia, by the way. You could just say, like, as Carol or any of these other people, it's like, hey, I live in India. Why don't we just make this a utopia and there's no levels of like poor or rich people? Why don't we all just build these beautiful places for people to live and eat and everyone be happy? No disease, no nothing. Okay. And they'll just do it. So it's like
people are willing to sacrifice individuality for living in a safer nation or whatever, right? Like they're willing to give up their freedoms to live in a police state nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So if you throw up the hey, you'll never want for anything, like it's incredibly tempting to people, man. I get it.
And, I get it. And here's the thing, because this is going to become, I have to imagine at a certain point, what I'm about to say has got to be the largest part of the conflict of this show. At a certain point, one of them, probably the guy fucking all these women, is going to realize that if I kill the other ones, I get to reign. And the world is my oyster. Because eventually you have to, because by the way, when Carol or any of them get super upset and push negativity towards the hive mind, they all lock up like a fucking computer virus and
they have a seizure
and millions of people die. Like Carol's killed like 12 million people or some shit, right? Which is insane, right? So of course that's like double guilt for her as like survivor's remorse and also end up killing these people. Because like people are flying in planes and shit. And then you do this and their plane crashes, right? Kills hundreds of people. At a certain point, you have to be thinking to yourself, if I kill all these other people, life is perfect. There's no one here to judge me. I can build a utopia. I can sleep with whoever I want. I can eat whatever I want. I can do whatever I want without any judgment. Or I could just kill Carol because she's the only one that seems to have a problem with this. There's got to be a moment where that conflict comes up where those other 12 people go, we just got rid of her. They're not putting people in jail, by the way. They said that there's no prisons. There's no zoos. There's nothing, right? I love that they were like, yeah, they opened up the zoos and then people got mauled by tigers. And it's like, yeah, well, of course. Duh. The animals don't have this fucking issue. But that's got to be a part of the conflict, right? Yeah, I think this is brilliant. I think it's super, super smart. And I'm very interested to see how people unbelievably misinterpret this show.
That's the point. Yeah.
1,000%. This is a liberal utopia.
What the fuck is Carol's problem?
Dude, what? I literally had an argument with a person on Reddit who was like, she's a nasty, toxic woman. I was like, a very Trumpy thing, right? I was like, one, it's been 2 episodes. Like, maybe give the show a chance to breathe before judging the main character. 2, she lost her spouse in this. She
lost her wife, yo.
She lost her wife, and she's now responsible for 12 million deaths. Yeah, maybe she's like not dealing with things so great. It's like people.
Your life is your own. Your life is your own, but you can't have a bad day. Or if you do, you can't take it out on me. Right? You might. You are losing. The show is going to be about like you said, it's going to be about like losing your freedom, your individuality for, yeah. I can't wait for you to tell me about all the people who miss it, because I'm not gonna. I saw it on
Reddit. I was like, really? and like we went back and forth. It wasn't an argument, but I was just like, okay, it's like kind of a weird take, dude. It's like it's been like 2 episodes or whatever. And he was like, well, I'm done with this conversation because I'm not going to argue with people on Reddit. I'm like, you're mad because I had a conversation with you. I didn't even call you a bad name. You think you could handle finding out that the world is completely different? She's crazy? Like, you couldn't handle a Reddit conversation for 2 comments. This guy's like, I'm out. It's too much. I'm like, cool. Now, what if you woke up and they were like, you killed 12 million people? I don't know, man. And you definitely slept with your own dad. Like, what the fuck? Nah, Vince Gilligan is a genius. This is brilliant. It's brilliant. And I know some people are like, this is kind of invasion of the body snatchers and stuff like that. It is. But it's an interesting take, especially nowadays, of that idea of like, we all need to be together on, like politically, or all against each other politically. Like, it plays with this idea that both sides of that can read this in very different ways, which is just fascinating. I think it's really smart. So wherever you land.
Yeah.
So.
I never get the whole comparing it to something that came before. Like, yeah, most things are from something that's come before, right? Like they say there's only like 7 individual like stories, and then they're just variants of each of those stories. So, it's not like people were clamoring for Invasion of the Body Snatchers and going back and rewatching it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know. I never get that. I never get that argument. Like, if it's good, it's good.
Well, it's to me, it's kind of simple minded. Like, yeah, okay. Like, hey, have you ever watched a superhero movie? They're all the same. Okay, it's a hero's journey. They came to the hero's journey a millennia ago. Like, it's all the same.
The amount of people who are like, Sinners is just from dusk till dawn. Like, it is in like premise, but it isn't because of detail. Yeah,
the nuance of things. I know, a word that people have long taken out to the woodshed and murdered. Kind of matters. Kind of matters. Here's another. Speaking of nuance, I watched House of Dynamite. This is Catherine Bigelow's new movie on Netflix. This is about the United States finding out that someone launched basically a nuclear ICBM, a missile.
ICBM.
Yes, thank you. That too. And they
Cash Money Brothers.
That's funny. They launch it and they don't know who launched it, right? They think it might be the Russians or the North Koreans or what have you. And the entire premise is, you get to see the situation like it's launched. They try to fire basically a missile to intercept it, and it misses. And they've got like 19 minutes before it hits mainland United States. And it's told, I guess, three different perspectives. And so it's kind of interplayed, right? Like you're hearing certain people talking, but you don't meet them until it's played the second time over, right? And it's got like a 78, 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm watching, I'm like 40 minutes in, and I was like, I hadn't heard anybody really kind of talking about it. And I was like, I wonder what the Rotten Tomato score is. And I just looked, right? I didn't read any of the reviews. And it was like 70, like high 70s. And I was like, for a Catherine Bigelow movie, I was like, that's interesting. I wonder what happens in the end. Like, because like the first like 30, 40 minutes, you're like, holy shit, I'm like all in, right? It's like super intense. And I'm like, what the fuck happens in this latter, 40 minutes, 30 minutes that really kind of dropped that score off? I'm wondering. And then when I finished the movie, I was like, I see what it is. Like, this is obvious. And this is not to spoil anything, because the movie isn't really about spoilers, right? Like the missile is going to hit mainline the United States. The reason the score is low is because they don't show it. That's why. And like it all kind of times to like, there's a minute left. There's nothing they can do, right? Because the first time the premise, the first like third of the movie is showing the perspective of the guys who are in the center who like are tracking it as it happens, and they're just like, oh shit, da, 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 da. And they're sending out, hey, information to another unit, a different part of the world, like, we need you to launch these intercepting rockets. And they do that and it misses, right? And so you're watching from their perspective as this shit, like they're like, oh my God, we did everything right and it didn't work, right? Like, and that's terrifying because you think it's America. Surely they'll figure it out. Like, I thought they were going to blow up the first one and then another one would be launched and then it would be like a whole thing. Nah, like that's not the fucking premise. The second premise is like the sort of like this young guy who is like a national security advisor. And he's trying to be like, look, guys, if you do X, this is going to happen. And it's going to like spark off shit all over the world of like responses and everything else. Like, you have to be like, you cannot just go gung ho into this. This is super serious. And you get down to the countdown. The third one is the president, who's played by Idris Elba, right? And I was like, when the fuck is Idris Elba showing up in this movie? Because you don't see the president in the first two. And then the third one, I was like, oh shit, there he is, right? Because he's like on the move. So he's just, you hear him audio, and I just didn't recognize his voice. And so it's from his perspective of what choices he has to make, that once this hits, what does he need to do? The entire premise of the movie is not the nuclear holocaust. The entire premise of the movie message is, this is why you pick serious people for these jobs. And it is, even when it's bad, when it goes bad, do you really want a buffoon or a couple of buffoons in charge of this shit? And what you find out is you absolutely do not. Like, even though Idris Elba has to quite literally make a decision he does not want to make. And they give him the book, and it's terrifying because they're like, here's the fucking McDonald's menu of options. It's like from light to fucking the worst. And they still don't know who did it. They get on the phone with Russia. Russia's like, we didn't do it. Like, if you stand down, like if you don't do it, like we promise to back you or whatever, but you don't know if they're telling the truth. And nothing in the movie tells you if they're telling the truth. So it's like, the whole point is, this is serious shit. Take it seriously. Like, that's the whole point of it. And is that any day something like this could happen. Who do you want in charge? You want a serious motherfucker in charge? You want a goofball in charge? And it's like, it's the most obvious message. And because they don't show it hit or show the United States retaliate, I think that's totally the reason why it doesn't get the score that it gets. I don't. That's why I don't think it gets the Hurt Locker and everything. There's nothing bad about the movie. It's got a great cast, dude. It is a masterclass in setting up tension. Like, because you're just like, oh, surely America's going to get out of it, right? It's like James Bond will be able to get out of this one, and you're like, those missiles are really close to the island, James. Like, oh, it's gonna hit. Like, no, it's gonna hit, right? So it's about what do you want? Who do you want in charge if shit like this goes south? That's what the whole premise of that movie is. And you know what? It's really fucking good. Everybody's good in it. Like Idris Elba, you're just like, I don't want to be president. Like, you don't. Because if you make the choice and you send these bombs, you're blowing up people who ain't do this shit. Like, because it's not like just in this area. They're like all of these areas in all of these different countries. We just going for it. Fuck it. So it's nuclear holocaust. Or do nothing. And the place that it blows up, it's not a small place. It's not, So,
yeah, it's weird because I don't hear anybody talking about that movie.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's the ending. That people want that satisfaction, even if it's horrendous. People want to know, like, oh, did it happen? Did we get him back? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure we did, but it ain't gonna be nothing left. Like, yeah.
All right, I might watch it.
That's
My
good.
wife, I came upstairs one day and my wife said, "Don't be mad," but I watched House of Dynamite. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like,
I'm right
you,
here.
you didn't tell me I'm right here. And it's a movie. It means I don't have to commit to more than 2.5 hours. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, oh, do you want to watch this Peacock show with me? It's called All Her Fault. I'm like, no.
Oh, is that the Kim Kardashian one?
No.
Oh, okay.
She was like, people are saying this is the worst show ever made.
Nigga,
ever.
I saw a clip. I was like, what even is this?
No, that show stars Sarah Snook as a woman who loses her kid, and Michael Pena as a detective, and Jay Ellis is in it, and she likes it. People seem to like it, but
Okay.
it's 8 episodes. I'm not committing to that. I'm already committed to a weekly show. I'm not committing to, and I made an effort to commit to another one. I'm not going to commit to 3 shows.
That's a lot.
3?
That's
a lot, man.
No. I'm married, but like that's enough commitment for me. Like that's
and I gotta commit to you, which means I gotta spend time with you. What?
Yeah. Nah, that 4 commitments, and you got kids. And
I got kids. Come on, man.
You don't have that kind of time. Come on, that's great.
Nah, man. I ain't got that kind of time. All I do is work from home.
I'm here all the time. Couldn't possibly. All right. You had the luxury of seeing Predator Badlands. I am literally seeing it in an hour and a half. Your thoughts without spoilers?
Without spoilers, this is a solid Predator movie. I think people people love this movie. They absolutely love it. I do not love it, but I like it a lot. And this movie is taking some swings. I told you right after I got out, I said, this is a Predator movie if the Disney Corporation made it. And that's not an insult, by the way. Like, a lot of people are saying that as an insult. I am not saying it as an insult. I'm saying that as a person who has watched a lot of movies. You see, when you watch a lot of movies, you see a lot of patterns, particularly from studios. And if you watch a lot of Disney movies, like, this movie is a hero's journey, right? It is. It's not about the destination. It's about the friends we made along the way, right? Like, that's kind of what this movie is. There's even a little merchandising opportunity in the movie. And, but that's not to say that the movie is bad. It's just different from every other Predator movie. And, your mileage may vary with that. I'm a little more of an old school Predator guy. I like the Predator as like a metaphor for adversity that human beings need to overcome, and human beings have to use their ingenuity to their physical and mental strengths to figure out how to stop this force that seems to be unstoppable. But at the same time, like, if you want this franchise to survive, you got it. That can't be it. Right? The Predator can't be Jason Voorhees, right? And this movie delves a little bit into like Predator culture, and because they're characters, right? And Predator Yautja culture for the Demetrius, the pedantic Demetriuses out there, right?
Yautja,
and it doesn't go deep into it, but it goes into it enough where it's super interesting. And you might want to find out more. To be perfectly honest with you, if you do another one of these, I want to see more Yautja in it. I want to see more, like, I want to see the interaction between different Yautja and different clans. I want an all Yautja movie, all Yautja all the time. Yautja is a real,
there's your
really
title.
Funny word. Yautja is just a really weird word to say.
It is,
but that's what I want. The movie does not skimp on its violence, but because human beings are conditioned to see violence amongst other humans, it feels different, right? But it's still like there's some Yautja on Yautja violence in the beginning. Pretty brutal.
Look,
Okay.
I got to tell you, I look forward to the companion podcast, Yautja on Yautja Cinema. Like, yeah, you were saying, and I've seen other people say this, like they somehow managed to, like you said, make sort of a very much a Disney, what Disney would do if they were in charge of this, which obviously they are now. But it somehow super works.
It does work. It works, and you know, people are going to take that as an insult. I mean, it shouldn't. You shouldn't, right? The Disney Corporation has made they changed the movie business.
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah. I feel like people just like to say Disney ruined everything. I'm like, did they though? Like all of these guys watch.
Like, you people are still like pining for the heyday of Marvel Studios, right?
Yeah,
like,
I've seen people write Disney ruined Marvel. I was like, where are you? Like you didn't like that guy? Like he's right there. Like come on, man, knock it off.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, Predator Badlands is a swing. For me, it wasn't a home run, but it was a triple, man. Like it's worthy to be in it's worthy to be in the Predator pantheon. It's nowhere near the Predator, which is just god awful.
The last one.
It's awful, right? But for myself personally, I feel as though the original Predator minus one scene is a perfect movie. And the one scene that needs to be deleted from that Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator movie is the shot of space and the Yautja ship flying to Earth. If you take that shot out and you don't know anything about this movie, you think you're just going in to watch Platoon or some shit, right? And then all of a sudden, you turns out the antagonist is an ugly motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
And it's perfect, right?
That's a very good point. Like I understand why they did it, right? Just because it's like, just so you know, right? But like it gives away the ghost because if
it gives it away.
If you didn't know what it was, the impact is that much heavier. I agree.
Yeah. So look, it's almost a perfect movie, right? But that movie, Predator, Killer of Killers, and this movie, like they're fighting, they're jockeying for second and third, right? Those other three movies are jockeying for second and third. They're really good. They're really good. Dan Trachtenberg, you can tell this guy's a fan of this franchise. He gets it.
He gets it. Yeah, that's clear.
Gets it. So
it's interesting. I haven't seen Predator Badlands. Fucking can't wait. I right now, if I'm putting out where the Predator movies that I've seen, minus this one, I put obviously Predator is number one. Not even a conversation. Get the fuck out of here. And it's hard to beat because again, you knew nothing about the Predator, right? Like so, there's no lore. There's nothing. It's just fucking.
And look, nostalgia plays a part, right?
Of course,
nostalgia plays a part,
of course. But it's also the most visceral too. Like that 100%, right? So I put Predator at number one. I put Prey at number two. I probably, to your point, I put Killer of Killers probably number three. Predators number four. And then you figure out where the fuck you want to put the Predator, AVP 2.
Look,
like you figure all that shit out. As far as I'm concerned,
AVP is better than the Predator. Hot take.
That's true.
I guess.
That's true. AVP 2 is pretty bad. Like that one's pretty bad. They were just
Requiem's pretty bad, but I haven't seen it in a very long time. I was so pissed at the Predator.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Mad.
I think the Predator is a great comedy. I do. I don't take that movie seriously at all. I was like, oh, they made a comedy in the Predator universe. That's cool. Whatever, we're all having fun. This is supposed to be a serious movie? Don't do that. Like, but I had a good time because I was laughing 97% of that movie. I was just like, what is this dialogue? What's his face from This Is Us? What's that dude?
Sterling K. Brown is.
He's having a blast. He's having a blast.
He's just like, whatever, bro. I've read the script. I know what stupid ass movie this is.
He's like, look, I just bought a new car. I don't want to have to make monthly payments. Let's just fucking, where do I sign? Like, this is awesome. So yeah,
one thing that I will tell you about Predator Badlands. Look, it's an action movie. Okay, it's an action movie, and stop that. It's an action movie, and in action movies, like, you want to see something you haven't seen before.
Yeah,
right.
That's the rule.
You really do. Look, I guarantee you, towards the end of that movie, you're gonna see something you ain't never seen before.
All right, look,
and it's gonna be wild, and I'm very curious to get your take on what you think it is.
Okay,
it's wild.
I honestly don't know. Look, if there is a scene, if there is, look, this is all I need in this movie, right? Like the Yautja like kicking ass or whatever, fighting whatever gross weird shit is on the planet, and then like I guess they're fighting humans at some point too. Good, they should die. It's totally fine by me. I need a scene of the synth with no legs and the Yautja just fucking people up in some sort of weird what's the character from fucking Thunderdome? Master Blaster type situation. That's all I need. Just like that's all I need in a Who Run Bartertown situation. I'm good. You give me that, I'm all in. Like I will leave the theater more than happy. So I don't know what happens, and you have not told me offline, so it's fine. I'm excited though, because look, I like a good action movie. I like a good brutal action movie, and I don't feel like we've had a good brutal action movie that like a sci-fi brutal action movie in quite some time. Since Prey, really. Like most of the action movies we get is like John Wick style stuff, which I enjoy, but like, yeah, give me some fucking wild shit. I mean, Killer of Killers, falls into that same group, right? But I'm just of live action, like just do that. Also, what it sounds like this movie does, and what Killer of Killers did very well, is they give you a little bit of the culture of the Yautja, but not too much. Where I don't want to have it hyper explained about everything.
They don't nerd out. They don't nerd out about it, right? They don't nerd out about it. You get it, especially if you've seen, like, if you're vaguely aware of Klingon culture, pretty much the same thing, right? Cool. Like you get it, and they don't dwell in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They give you just enough to see how people react, and then maybe one day we'll get, an all Yautja movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Or you get another Alien versus Predator, right?
Do it right,
because since they're both under the same umbrella, right?
And they're both being handled well. Both of those, because there's no reason at this point, especially after Alien Earth, that you could not find yourself in a situation where these two like I don't know if I need a full on Alien versus Predator movie, but I kind of just want them to just dabble in a little bit and then just kind of go their separate ways. Because I don't need the Yautja to be fully humanized. And I think that's probably the problem with the AVP stuff, is because they become sort of semi-heroes in that, you kind of go, oh, okay, well they're just like us, but they're not though. They're not. They're a warrior class of psychos, right? Like, you're not getting a Worf in this situation, right? Like,
right.
Hey, I'll hang out with you guys. Like, nah, fuck that. I want, if you're going to do an AVP, and I think that's probably down the line, I really wouldn't be surprised. If you're going to do an AVP type of thing, I need it to be a situation where you really don't know, and it does in fact happen in the movie of like, hey, the humans are like, yeah, we're fighting alongside the Yautja, and the Yautja's just like, I'm just going to kill this person. Like, who the fuck is this guy? I just stab them. And it's like, we're not friends. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, I'm here to kill that thing. But like, you're a snack, and that's the dinner. I'll murder you too. I don't give a fuck. I'm not your buddy. And that was like the weird thing. What was it? Sanaa Lathan running down the hallway with a predator. I'm like, he would kill you and skin you alive. Like, they're not friends with you. Like, stop doing that. Like, and that's what I want. Don't get too
that's they touch on that, right? Like, well, I won't say anymore, but yeah, I think you'll like it. I think you will enjoy the movie. I think if you are even like a casual passing Predator fan, I think we'll enjoy this movie.
Which I am not. I am a very much a Predator fan. So again, I enjoy the serious ones and I enjoy the comedies as well. Yeah, okay, Predator Badlands. I can wait. I'm super excited.
Movie.
It was good. Shut up. All right, topics this week. Go for it.
There's a Predator Iron Man suit in that movie, guys.
Nope,
There's a Predator Iron Man suit in that last movie. Like, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Ever since last year, it was officially announced that Amazon would be developing a streaming series based on BioWare's Mass Effect franchise. Fans wondered, Freudian slip, if it had the guts to tell an original story and not make it about Commander Shepard, the customizable hero of the original games. BioWare executive producer Mike Gamble confirmed that the show would, quote, explore a brand new story within the universe's timeline and will be set after the original trilogy. It won't be a retread of Commander Shepard's story because, after all, that's your story. Okay. Look, I think the Mass Effect universe is interesting enough that if you have a good story to tell, that's any story, right? If you have a good story to tell, it'll be successful. But there's a lot in that universe, and I love all this like sci-fi. Like this, Mass Effect is like Star Trek with balls, right? Like Star Trek, but like they don't mind. Where Star Trek was all about like, hey, let's go explore and let's explore for the betterment of humanity and all races and alien species and stuff like that. Like, let's just go out and explore the universe, right? Mass Effect is a little more hard edge than that. Not too much, right? Like, it's not like an R-rated franchise, but like in Mass Effect 2, the developers have your party is the developers call them your dirty dozen, right? Like you're doing like sometimes you're doing noble shit, sometimes you're doing unscrupulous shit. One of the characters in Mass Effect 2, the black guy, has an estranged dad because even in fictional future space, we can't have positive father-son relationships.
Nope.
Being black, I guess. And his dad is a piece of shit. Like, and you gotta help him. Like, it's kind of like that dude from Pluribus, a little bit. So it's not, it's not as squeaky clean as Star Trek. So look, it's Mass Effect. I'm gonna watch it every November 7th. You wear your Mass Effect hoodie, play a Mass Effect game. You do your N7 stuff because it's N7 day, the official unofficial Mass Effect holiday. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So, I mean, do you think this,
especially because Amazon has been pretty good?
Yeah, they have been. When it comes to adaptations, I have to say I've actually been largely pretty impressed.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if Mass Effect was going to Apple TV, I think I wouldn't worry about it at all.
Hell,
but it's going to Amazon. But it's going to Amazon. I think Amazon, I think they'll do it well. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I would. The only place I would have been pissed would be like Netflix or Warner Brothers at this point. because Warner Brothers is just
Yeah.
more on that later. It's just so fucking all over the place. But yeah, Amazon or Apple TV for like Apple for sci-fi adaptations is crazy good. Like they're like to the point where you're like, how much money do you guys invest in this? It's like $200 million an episode.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ. Like I feel like they would have thrown the fucking book at this shit. Like they would have really gone all out. But Amazon is also really good at this type of stuff. I mean, look, I was not into the show, but I know people who really, really were. The Expanse, like people really, really, really like that show. Which a lot of people are sort of pointing to be like, Amazon can do sci-fi. They've got the means to do it. Look, I like this idea. I'm not a Mass Effect person. I've played it like for like 9 seconds. What I do like is that they were smart enough to sidestep the idea of retreading the original story. That's just smart business move, because everyone's gonna be like, but in the game, and then I had picked, and I don't see that. Like, shut up, just shut up. Just start a new story after the original trilogy and move forward. I think it's just easy. It's way
especially
easier.
especially because there's a lot of baggage in terms of the ending of that trilogy.
Yeah.
And you don't want to open that back up. You really don't.
No,
because then you'll get nerds be like, wow, I guess this is the canon ending now, and this is and nobody liked the ending to the Mass Effect trilogy, and it just you don't want to open that back up. It is best to start fresh. Don't start in the Andromeda wing of the timeline, which is like 100 years after the original. But keep just keep the familiar elements, right? You keep the aliens that people recognize. You make a character kind of like there are fan favorite characters like Mordin and Garrus, and you make another one of those, and like you're golden, man. It's all about the characters, man. It's all about the characters. If you have solid characters in this series, you're good.
Yeah, I feel like if you just do, again, I'm a novice to this series, but it feels like if you do you remember that show was on Sci-Fi Channel, like Farscape, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you do something similar to that, but with just good action in every other episode or something like that, or a couple episodes a season, like real big events, yeah, people are going to be fucking down for that shit. I don't want to say this is easy, but it just feels like you said, Star Trek with more balls. Like, just make a good series of characters, like all different races and like, I mean, alien races and humans and all this other shit and robots and whatever you dorks are into. And then just have it like, we're going to different planets, maybe that's, new planet every week type of thing, or maybe there's just like one thread of a story, running throughout that as they're sort of staying on one planet for a couple episodes and then traveling around. All of that stuff. Just do that. Like, that's all been laid out in sci-fi shows a million times over. But just, you got to nail down the action and the look to the series. Yeah, you got it. Like, so again, there are only so many original stories, and I feel like even those sci-fi stories that are like the Star Trek and stuff like that, they're all kind of based on Westerns anyway. Like, this is not much new.
Yeah, they're all, that's where the whole space Western genre comes from. Like, it's,
right.
Ain't nobody it is what it is.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, next up,
DC Studios tests American Vandal creators for Jimmy Olsen TV spinoff. The show would be led by Skylar Gisondo, reprising his role as the Daily Planet photographer, Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, with season 1 focusing on Gorilla Grodd, which makes a whole lot more sense that incredibly stacked Daily Planet cast was barely used because they were setting them up for a TV show. Dan Paralot and Tony Yacenda, that sounds like one of your people, who created the award-winning mockumentary American Vandal, are going into the DC universe. The duo will write, executive produce, and showrun the Superman movie TV spinoff starring Skylar Gisondo, the actor who played Jimmy Olsen.
This makes all the sense.
Gisondo and the character became a true breakout from the film when they realized that, like, hey, women want to have sex with a nice guy like Jimmy. Which look, to be perfectly honest, we need to see more of that in TV and fiction and stuff like that.
Yep, just a regular guy.
Because just a regular dude being nice to women and women reciprocating the niceness.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's how hey, just be nice to women. Maybe they'll be nice to you back. And if they don't, I mean,
move on.
C'est la vie. Stop all this alpha male fucking, rise and grind. You're not allowed to have emotions. All that bullshit. Like, fuck all that. Just be normal.
Yeah, I agree. And like, they didn't make him like, they didn't pick eggs from fucking True Blood to like Jimmy Olsen. Like,
right. They didn't pick they didn't pick like somebody that looked like he was right off the set of Blacked or some shit. Right? Like,
hey, Superman, that's my friend. Why are you the same size as him? Like, that's not what that guy. Like, I don't care that he's black. Like, he's 6'5".
Yo, you're not Superman's pal, you're Superman's wingman, bro.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
He saves you from things like, I can't save you, eggs, you're too fucking heavy. Get out of here. Like, no, come on. This is the silliest casting of all time. Look, I love this. I think this is super smart. This had been rumored for a while. We talked about this in maybe a month or two ago. The brilliance behind this, and they kind of let it slip a little bit in the trailer or the article, is that like, the first season is going to be dealing with Gorilla Grodd. This is how you bring in a bunch of sort of ancillary villains and shit into the DCU without them having to all show up in movies. Like, yeah. And then if people know who they are when they show up in Superman 2 or the first Flash movie or whatever, you're just like, cool. And if not, they do a little like last time on Jimmy Olsen type of quick explanation and you move forward, right? Gorilla Grodd doesn't need to be like, he doesn't need to be the first Flash villain. That's crazy. Like, I mean, he could, but like, it just feels unnecessary. But to have Jimmy Olsen maybe like flying around the world, investigating these kind of things and reporting back to it, I think it's brilliant. Like, this is super smart. So much of the DCU, the DC universe, when you focus on Superman, like weirdly focuses on journalism, right? Like, you have all these like major characters sort of surrounding the Daily Planet, and they're really established characters. Utilize that. And like you said, why the hell are you bringing in Wendell Pierce to be in Superman for 9.5 seconds? You're not. You put him in this and you let him show off in this because he's a great actor. But you establish him in the big movie, and then you use that as a way to sort of reverse introduce other characters into the DCU. I think this is a super smart plan. I really do. I'm sure people on the service are like, Jimmy Olsen show is dumb. No, it's an avenue for something else. Like, it's not just, I'm sure it'll be good, but it's just an avenue to do something that, otherwise you can't do.
Yeah, you bring in like esoteric characters like Gorilla Grodd. Like, my wife don't know who Gorilla Grodd is, right? She thinks Gorilla Grodd is that dude who be dancing for food on the internet, right? His name's not Gorilla Grodd. His name is Darky Kong. Get it right.
What was it? It was like Big Groovin' or whatever. Like,
his name is Darky Kong to me. I don't know who you're talking about.
It's not acceptable for other people to say that, but we can say that. We can say that.
Look, we can say, look.
Yeah. You're not allowed to say it, Brad. Cam, you're not allowed to say that, but we can say it. And look, just as an aside, that guy fucking sucks. Okay? Like, that guy sucks. He sucks. I do not care for what he does. I don't. I wish him all not well. Like, I hope you're healthy, but please just stop doing it. You are embarrassing all of us and your ancestors. I assure you. Please just stop dancing around for chicken. It gets on my fucking nerves.
But using a show like this to introduce a weird villain, right? Like, because if you introduce Gorilla Grodd in the Flash movie, like it might be too much for the average moviegoer to accept.
100%.
Right?
100%.
That's why the villain in James Gunn's Superman movie was a guy and a Superman clone, right?
Yeah, you gotta ease people into this shit, man.
Yeah, you gotta ease people into it, man. You can't you're not gonna introduce, Mr. McSville or whatever the fuck his name is
Right.
in that movie, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, yeah, so yeah, this is, like you said, this is a good avenue to introduce certain characters that are kind of far out and a little weird. And if it works, great. If not, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's skip the last story in your thing. There's a new Luther movie coming to Netflix, and that one lady is back. So she wasn't in the last movie. That was in the original series. Just quickly, V for Vendetta series headed to HBO. This just broke like yesterday, so there's no sort of details around it, like who's working on it or what have you. What's interesting is, I guess this is going to be a retread of. My guess is a retread of the series, like of the actual graphic novel series. I'd be interested to see if they keep it tighter to the book than the movie was, which I enjoyed the movie a lot. I don't know. James Gunn and Peter Safran are producing this, which I think is cool. Or they're executive producing it. We'll see. I don't know. I guess
when this is going to come out.
Do not know. This is an HBO show. So,
well, it might come out in 4 years if it ever comes out.
Well,
given what it's about.
Yeah. So let's jump right into that, because I got to tell you, there is part of me that thinks that DC is about to go through some things, and I don't think they're going to be good. I need people to remember some history here just quickly. James Gunn was fired from Marvel and then rehired. But the reason he was fired is because he basically got into a battle with, Michael Cernovich. I forget his first name. Is it Michael Cernovich? Who is a hardcore right-wing lunatic, okay, to say the least. And they went after him, and they were like, oh, he posted this like joke about like fucking priests because he's a trauma guy, and I totally didn't understand the joke, and I'm being weird or pretending I didn't understand the joke. So Marvel fired him, right? And then Marvel hired him back because like I think we're being stupid. And so, Warner Brothers is now up for sale. David Zaslav has fattened the goose up enough to put it out for sale, which was obviously always the plan to anybody paying attention. The problem here in the next story is the Trump administration is putting their thumb on the fucking scale about who they want to buy Warner Brothers, which is not fucking okay. To quote someone who is a senior Trump admin official, who owned Warner Brothers Discovery is very important to this administration. Why?
Why?
Because you want to control the media in which people see. And so they basically said that, like, look, anybody who outside of Warner Brothers who is going to attempt to buy this is going to run into, you know what? Let me actually quote Ellison, who runs Paramount, David Ellison. More on him in just a moment. David Ellison suggested that, quote, significant, perhaps insurmountable hurdles will happen to people given their dominant market position if somebody else tries to buy it. So basically, you're going to run into significant, if not perhaps insurmountable issues trying to buy Warner Brothers if you're not us. And the reason is because the FCC is going to make that fucking hard. That's the unwritten statement.
Yeah.
The FCC is going to make it impossible for anyone else to buy, even though Apple is interested, Netflix says they're interested. There's a number of companies that are like, maybe. But basically, Ellison is like, I'm your only fucking choice, baby. I'm your white knight. Like, that's it, right? And the Trump administration is like, you better go with fucking Paramount or we're not approving the deal. How is that okay?
It's not. It's not. Like, what happened to free market capitalism, guys? What happened to? I mean, I thought that was your whole deal.
It's
right?
almost as if they're complete and utter liars. Weird.
That's okay. They promised. They promised.
Yeah. Here, try to kick the football, Charlie Brown. See what happens. How are you falling for this? That guy really should lose his job. Why is Chuck Schumer still in this position? Anyway, so now that you know that the thumb is on the scale, and you know that David Ellison is basically not warning, but threatening, basically, hey, you have to kind of sell it to us. Then here comes this article that came out, I believe, yesterday, November 4th, a couple days ago, that talks about how David Ellison has a list of people who he feels that if they are homophobic, xenophobic, or overtly anti-Semitic, they will not work with them. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jay, Micah, surely you guys would support a studio not wanting to work with people who are homophobic, xenophobic, or anti-Semitic. Yes, I would. However, I don't believe David Ellison. Okay? David Ellison is lying to you. The overtly anti-Semitic part is what tells you how he feels. And that has nothing to do with Jewish people at all. It's that the right wing has been using anti-Semitism as a cover for doing dirty shit to other people who have voiced opinions about maybe like not committing genocide.
Anti-Semitism is the new reverse racism.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's exactly it, right? So, people like Emma Stone, Javier Bardem, amongst many other directors and everything else, signed that thing we talked about. It was like 1,300 directors and actors who signed that document saying that they will not support companies that are pro-genocide and apartheid against Palestinians. Now, people inside WB are like, or inside Paramount are like, no, that list doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Of course not. But however, the management team shares a set of values and has no desire to work with anyone who expresses hate in public and in damaging ways. Okay. Now take all of that, what I just said, take the thumb on the scale shit. Now, couple that with James Gunn running DC. Take that along with V for Vendetta coming to HBO, which is under WB. V for Vendetta is all about pushing against fascism, right? Now, if you understand anything about, Guy Fawkes, the mask that people wear, I think they get it a bit wrong. Guy Fawkes was a religious lunatic and was for a theocracy. But how V for Vendetta is told, it is a person trying to take down fascism, because like the original Alan Moore story is about Margaret Thatcher's UK, right? Like that's when it was written. That's what the analogy is. So it is about taking down fascism and pushing back against it for like freedom and all this other shit. It's just ironic that he uses Guy Fawkes, right? Like that's on purpose. People are like, yeah, Guy Fawkes mask. This is super cool. I'm like, he was a theocrat, but like, okay, don't read. It's fine. Again, I can't wait for people to get Pluribus completely fucking wrong. So all of that to be said is I don't know how long James Gunn is going to have, and if he's going to have the true freedoms that he has been allowed to have. Because you look at Superman, and there is no argument of the message that he's sending in that movie about genocide and everything else. There is no argument. How long is that going to last when you have when you have David Ellison at the head of WB? You think he just gets to rock and do whatever he wants? I don't think so.
Do you? Well, we have an interesting conundrum. We have the corporatists conundrum, right? Do you where do your loyalties lie in your ideals or your lust for the dollar, right?
Yeah.
Because if these James Gunn movies make a lot of money,
Say whatever you want.
and James Gunn, he's being a good soldier. He's going around, guys. I wrote this long time ago, guys. Like, what could possibly? I don't know how you're putting two and two together. Did you write it 75 years ago, James?
We remember when you said, "I'm writing Superman." Motherfucker, you wrote it like last week. Knock it off, and that's fine. It didn't bother me. I love that he threw Net.
Right, it doesn't
I'm
bother
sorry,
me,
that
but-
one guy and killed him. Who could it be? Who could it be? Who could?
So, but he's denying it, right? He's denying it because he's trying to protect his position to be able to, create, the stuff that he wants to create. But he's doing it well, right? He's slipping in subliminal messaging, not so subliminal messaging, right? But does Ellison pull that if he doesn't like it, or does he keep it as long as it's making money?
Yeah, it remains to be seen. I am not.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I don't think, some people, why would Trump care about, Paramount controlling WB? It's because if you get to control the entertainment and you get to control the news, you get to control the narratives. Like that's just a fact. Like I saw people in comment section about that issue, and they're like, yeah, wokeism is back. I'm like, he's talking about an enemies list. Like that's McCarthyism, dude. That's not a left-wing thing. Again, read, I don't know, a book, any of them. Like if you think McCarthyism is a left-wing thing, you need to before your healthcare premiums skyrocket, you need to book yourself a fucking CAT scan. Okay. Because that's insane. Look, I am very worried that entertainment will be grossly diminished in the hands of hardcore right-wingers. And David Ellison is one. So no thanks. No thanks. And look, I know that there is absolutely nothing that is going to stop Paramount from buying it. I mean, they just sweetened the deal for Warner Brothers by saying that David Zaslav could be the co-CEO and co-chair of this new company. Like they're going to give WB 80% cash and 20% stock. Like that's a lot, dude.
Yo,
get that money, dude. Like look. Even I would be like, oh, somebody's got to buy in if I'm going to sell out. And that's a lot of money to buy in. You know what? I get it. You're like, you know what? Trump might be a good president. Like, give me my money. Right. So I understand that that's a hard thing to, from a fiduciary perspective as a corporation, I understand that would be tough to turn down. So whatever, but be aware that media is very much has the possibility of being relatively neutered under WB. Be aware of that. So when you see stuff like V for Vendetta, and you're like, damn, this ain't really hitting as hard as the movie. You're like, oh, I'm not saying that that's necessarily going to happen, but if it does, I would not be surprised. I hope that it doesn't. I hope that David Ellison is the financial whore that I think he is. But also at the same time, people can be pieces.
Yeah, I don't put much stock into corporations and people who run them, man. Like I just don't. If it makes dollars, yeah, but like they'll give anything a chance once to see if it hits gangbusters, and if it doesn't hit gangbusters, bam, there's your excuse to not have it and to try something new, right? Like it. Yeah, I don't trust corporations. You shouldn't either. You should. I told this to Brad the other day. I was like, corporations are literally the only relationship that is 100 that you should 100% be transactional with. That's it.
Yeah.
Stop putting your heart and soul and standing up with this corporation. Like, no, they make a product. You either buy it or you don't. Like they're a necessary evil. I get it. but don't go to bat for them.
No.
Right? Everything we're using right now is made by a corporation, right? But like, I don't have any loyalty to it.
No. No, zero. Like, who the fuck is? They're not my friends. Like, no. I barely fuck with my
I
friends.
don't give a fuck about you. Don't give a fuck about them.
No, yeah, get your money and get the fuck out of there. Use the product.
Yeah.
Look, use them and broom them fast, okay?
There you go.
He was right about that. All right, trailers this week, just really quick because I got to get out of here. Primate, Mikey, you sent me this trailer. Go fuck yourself. This is ridiculous. Go for it. Explain this nonsense.
Terrifying primal tale of horror and survival. That's the log line for Primate. Primate stars a group of Zillennials, I guess, and they go to Hawaii and to visit one of their friends. And one of the friends has a pet monkey or a chimp or whatever, right? And it's like, hey, it's like Bubbles, right? Like, oh, hey, Bubbles. I think the name is Ben, right? And they're like, oh, hey, cool. You guys got a monkey. That's awesome. And all of a sudden, the monkey is just like, nah, fuck y'all.
Yeah, something happens to the monkey. It like gets bitten by something, and it just starts like it's got rage fever.
The monkey's got a rage virus, guys. And look, this movie looks so bad. It's coming out in January. This movie looks awful. Okay, and I think we're running out of ideas.
What's the movie with the robot girl who kills people? What was that one?
Megan?
Yeah, Megan. I need this to cross over with Megan.
I mean, it might as well.
I want Monkey Megan 3. That's what I want.
give Megan its teeth back. Give it let it be a horror movie again instead of an action movie. Yeah. No, Primate. I saw this in the theater while I was watching Predator Badlands, and I immediately pulled out my phone and sent it to Jay while I was in the theater. And I usually don't do that, but I did it because I was like, this is so ridiculous. This is so ludicrous that I have to show, that I have to tell. Like, we're running out of ideas, guys. We're running out of ideas. Yeah. And I don't know. Look, go watch the trailer, have a laugh, and never watch this again.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna read you what I wrote to Micah when he sent me this. This is us being assholes. This is the type of terrible shit we say to each other when we are offline. I said, I have a real issue with this movie because, one, I enjoy the idea of him going crazy and killing these people. But two, is it wrong to do this on black on black cinema? Which is terrible. That's a terrible thing to write. I shouldn't have said that. No, look, this is bad. I want this to cross over with the Megan movies though. Like at one point they jump in a pool. They're like, oh good, the monkey can't get in the pool. And the monkey like scales on something above the pool because it's like an indoor pool and grabs the girl and pulls her out of the water. I was like, that's fine. I'll watch the shit out of this on streaming. But I am not spending real money to go to the theater to see it. I hope that monkey ripped her head off. Like that would have been awesome. It looks dumb. It looks super dumb. Next up, speaking of dumb, why is Chris Pratt in a cerebral film? Even the opening thing where they have like the two actors like, go see the movie. Like, what's her face is in this? Rebecca Ferguson, who's like feels like a serious actress. She's like, yes, go see the movie. And Chris Pratt's like, go see the movie. It's gonna be fucking awesome, bro. And you're like, okay, like what is happening? And then you watch the trailer, and it's like a sort of a future where they have like using AI. They have like these like judge, jury, executioner kind of situations. It's the Mercy program, and he's arrested.
So I have the premise.
Okay,
I have the premise. In 2029 Los Angeles, 4 years from now, a detective stands on trial accused of murdering his wife. He has 90 minutes to prove his innocence to the advanced AI judge that he helped create before it determines his fate. Look, I almost sent you this one too, because I saw this during Predator Badlands. I'm like, yo, this is a stupid ass idea.
Yes.
Like I don't think that this is as clever as people think it is. It's going to be
movie in the trailer, by the way.
Right. It's going to be Chris Pratt in a. It feels like a COVID movie. It feels like a high budget COVID movie.
That's exactly right. It absolutely does. Yeah.
And he's in this. Like the premise is everything that's in the trailer, and everything in the trailer gives away the movie. I just don't think that I don't think that this would work this way. We're not going to. I know we're all slaves to AI right now, and maybe that's the point. But we're not going to let AI be judge, jury, and executioner for people.
Feels like a mistake. Feels like a little.
Yeah. It feels like it's a mistake, too easily manipulated, and it just doesn't like. People don't get AI even in fiction, right? So I know they don't get it in practical reality. And it just this seems like a silly fucking premise.
Yeah, I'm not blown away by this. It feels pretty stupid. So okay, man, like bro, I guess. Like I just
they have percentage points. They have percentage points of how well you're 98% guilty, and you have to get to 92% guilt. If you get to 92% guilt, then you'll have a stay of execution. But if you're above 92%, what the fuck? Like it doesn't. Machines. You're trying to write how you think a machine would work, and it just. This isn't how the judicial system works. It just isn't.
No,
it's not even a believable way to kind of do this. I don't
he's
know,
not, and he's also not a cerebral enough actor to pull this off. I'm sorry.
And he's not strong enough an actor to pull off a ridiculous premise.
No, like this feels like as I rewatch the trailer, to my chagrin, I feel like somebody who has a sympathetic way about them where you're like, oh, I like that guy. Like that guy wouldn't have done it. Cause that's what, like, you can't have like a crazy, handsome, like tough guy actor doing this. Like it feels wrong to me. And I get it. He's a cop, but he's like a detective, right? You don't have to make him look like he can like take down a gang single-handedly type of shit, right? Like a Scoot McNairy or someone like that, where they come off as like a likable guy. And I'm not saying Chris Pratt isn't a likable guy. He has that likable personality. He really does. But like the regular guy, like we've seen this nigga with abs in superhero movies. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work, right? You need someone who's just like, that guy, like a character actor, like, I like that guy. It can't be a super tough guy. Like it doesn't work. He's not a cerebral enough actor to pull it off. The only other person like of a big name I could see pulling this off, because he could pull like that intensity that you would need, would be like a Tom Cruise, where he'd be like, "Give me back my son," like, and he would never do.
Guess what? He already did it. It's called Minority Report, which was a better movie, and
it's a better movie,
a better concept, It's a better concept than this. The idea of thought policing, right? Like that's what Minority Report is about. This is a fucking game show where you got to prove your innocence in 90 minutes or less. Like what the fuck?
Yeah,
fuck. Huh? Yeah, this is weird.
Yeah, do not want. Okay, like I don't want this. It feels very silly to me. Yeah, I'm good. I'm super good on this. All right. Next up, Scream 7 real quick, and then Michael, and then we're going to get out of here.
Look, I won't say much about Scream 7, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Sidney Prescott is back, the best final girl, who is just over this shit. That's why she's the best final girl, because she is grizzled. She has been through 5 of these things already.
That's Courtney,
like, whatever, bro. That's Neve Campbell's character.
Oh, Neve Campbell.
Courtney Cox's character is Gail Weathers.
She's the news person. Okay, got it.
Yeah, she's the asshole who keeps writing books about her friends, and they're almost dying, or in some cases dying. Dewey's dead. Um, Look, I love Scream. It's one of my favorite horror franchises. They didn't have Nev Campbell in Scream 6 because they didn't want to pay her. So they, and they were trying to kind of usher in this new era of Scream heroes led by Melissa Barrera. Then they were like, oh, well, Melissa Barrera, you have an opinion on stuff. That we don't like, so we're going to can you. And she said something about Palestine or whatever. And the powers that be were like, hey, we don't want you to say that stuff. And I guess they told her that, and she was just like, F you. So they were like, all right, well, we're going to write you out. You can't be in the next movie, I guess. I don't know. But they did get Nev Campbell back, which is more than to make good for me. And Sydney, even in the trailer, Sydney's just like, you could tell she's fucking over this shit. Like, Ghostface would come on and he was like, hello, Sydney. And she's basically just like, oh, God damn, what the fuck, bro? Like, what do you want? Like, I've been doing this for 30 years.
Right.
Like, what? Just get to it. Come on, get to it. And she's got a daughter now. Look, it's Scream. As long as Scream is movies about movies, I'll dig it. I really think you should give the franchise another shot.
Okay, that's fair. I've seen the first two, I think, and I stopped caring. But okay, you tell me, is it on like HBO Max or something? Like, is all of the series?
It's got to be. It's got to be on HBO Max.
All right, yeah. What? I'll start watching it.
Check it out.
All right. Last but certainly not least, the Michael music biopic is happening, starring Michael Jackson's nephew, who was clearly cloned in a lab. And this is directed by Antoine Fuqua. Look, I'll just say this, and then I'll let you say your piece. This looks like a bog standard, music biopic. Look, you're coming for the music, right? They already made a great Michael Jackson biopic. It was a Jackson 5 movie, like that, like 4-part saga back in the day, like on BET or whatever. That shit was fucking flawless. It was dope as fuck. If you've never seen it, I think it's on YouTube. The quality is garbage right now. I wish they would re-release that shit in HD. The family is too connected to this, so it's not going to be. You're not getting any sort of like extra shit in this. Like, they're way too connected. It'll be perfect. And look, I'm gonna see it. Okay, I'm gonna see it. I know people. Oh, but he wasn't terrible. I'm gonna see it. Sorry, just get over it. I'm gonna see it. Does it look good?
Yeah,
it looks bog standard. But I'm gonna see it.
It looks fine. I think this movie will be better than the Bob Marley movie, which also had the permission of his family to do.
Right.
So it was basically a Wikipedia article,
right?
Minus the controversy section, right? And that's what I expect this is. I think I'm looking forward to the music. Look, I know all about Michael Jackson's weirdness. And that's something that I wrestle with every time Smooth Criminal comes on and I start dancing. But look, it's got Jafar Jackson, who is Jermaine's son, who looks exactly like the man. Like, it's odd.
It's crazy, dude.
But the cast, bro, okay? Joe Jackson is played by, who do you think Joe Jackson is played by, real quick?
I literally
Coleman Domingo, my nigga. Coleman Domingo.
Like, now I have to see it in theaters. I didn't want to see it in theaters. I didn't know that until you just said that. Come on, man. God damn.
Nia Long is his mom. Lorenz Tate is Barry Gordy. Like,
oh damn. Okay,
like,
that's pretty
come
good.
on, man. Like, this is gonna be. I mean, it is, right? It's gonna be fine. The performance is gonna be great. The music is gonna be great. I'm not expecting much from this, but I am expecting a good time from a music perspective. So Yeah,
So
Michael.
having
And I want to see that nose. I got to see if they do something again with that nose. Like
the irony that his real nose in the movie looks faker than any of the other noses is crazy. Like was that on purpose? Like was that like it's I said to you offline, I was like, did they call up Shock G and it was like, we need your nose from from your career and have him wear that? Like that nose is ridiculous. But other than that, like, yo, I didn't know Coleman Domingo was playing Joe Jackson. That's crazy. Oh,
I mean, like that seems like the most. I mean, come on, bro.
Because he's gonna bring that intensity in those scenes, Joe. Like he's going to. Because that's the one thing they don't. That's the one thing they don't have to like kind of tamp down. Like that he was abused by his dad. They're gonna lean into that shit because they're gonna want you to leave that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing him as like being a sympathetic character, right? Because like whatever you think of him and the allegations or whatever you think, they got to establish that level of sympathy ahead of time. So they're going to lean heavy into that, and they're going to lean super hard on Coleman Domingo to, no offense, beat the brakes off of Michael Jackson in the beginning of that movie, and, like he was will. And Coleman Domingo can bring intensity, yo. He can. So, but yeah, that music is going to be fucking great. I mean, look, this is done by the same director who did Bohemian Rhapsody, which is one of the most bog standard fucking music biopics of all time. However, that Live Aid scene in that movie was fucking excellent. It's excellent. Like, it is a shot for shot fucking remake. And you watch and you're like, this is unbelievable. And there is nothing that tells me that they will not be able to recapture that same sort of magic in this. Because Michael Jackson is the most popular musician of all time. And it's not even a fucking question. He just is. So I believe Thriller just went back to the top 100 after this trailer came out. That's how popular Michael Jackson is. It made it back into the fucking top 100 again. Jesus Christ, dude. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how people handle it. I'm sure a lot of like young people are going to be like, "Did you know this about Michael Jackson?" Yeah, we know. We know all of the things.
Yeah,
like, we do.
Yeah,
we do. And like, it looks like maybe they're going to lean into like his sort of affiliation with gang culture too, which I cannot wait to see how they handle that. Because like I don't know if people know, like Michael Jackson was a Crip, yo. Like he was. Which is fucking wild. Like he was. Because like that nigga's from Indiana. Like don't let the high voice and nose fool you. Like he was a nigga from Indiana.
That high voice that is put on.
That is right? Put on.
Like Michael Jackson he didn't sound like he didn't walk around like that. Nah, yo, he didn't walk around like that.
Nah, it was all
he had an image to maintain, and that's what he was doing. But
that's why. I hope they deal with that, by the way. I want to hear like what this guy's real Michael Jackson voice sounds like versus like the put on Michael Jackson voice. Like that'll be interesting.
Right.
Also, look, just quickly, because I gotta leave in literally like 2 minutes. That scene that they show in the trailer of from Thriller, nigga, that shit looks immaculate. Like it looks immaculate, you know? Just like Jesus Christ, they nailed the visuals. Like they did. Like so. Should be interesting. All right. Any last words there before we get out of here?
Enjoy the movie.
All right. I will. Okay. Later, guys. We will see you guys next week.
See you.